everybody. Great to be in Alexandria, the greatest city in America. I don't want to speak long because what I really want you to do is to leave here and start making some calls and knocking on doors. Because let me talk politics very quickly first. Donald Trump today is about 18 points underwater in Virginia, which means that the primary is really important. Most likely, the people who are going to win the primary are going to get elected in the general election, barring something we don't know today. That's why you've got to get out and vote. This is like when I ran in 2013. I didn't have a primary in the governor's race, and 141,000 people showed up. Low turnout. This will be a low turnout. There's no primary for governor. That's why you folks are really, really so important. We got to help LeVar. And I want to recognize the greatest going to be First Lady of the Lieutenant Governor, Brandy, who's going to speak today. And Sunday. I want to recognize the greatest First Lady in the history of America, not only in Virginia. A new grandmother, my bride of 35 years, Dorothy McAuliffe. And I thank everybody, Matt and Steve, our councilman, mayor, all of you speaking. You know, Matt said it wasn't inevitable for him to support LeVar. Let me be very clear. It was inevitable for me to support the mayor. I've known him for 17, 18 years. In 2009, we got together. We literally spent 4 years in a car going to every city and county in the Commonwealth of Virginia when I was running for governor in 2013. Yeah. Just the two of us. We saw every part of Virginia. And you get to know folks really well when you spend that much time together. Of course. I got a lot of stories. I know we have press here. I won't get into all of them here. But I have no closer friend and advisor. And then when I got elected the 72nd governor in 2013, my first appointment was to name LeVar the Secretary of the Commonwealth, the youngest cabinet secretary in the history of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And he and I get a lot of credit. We did a lot of big things. The biggest thing, of course, as you know, we took the extraordinary step of giving 200,000 returning citizens the right to vote here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. It was the largest enfranchisement of voting rights in the history of our country, done by an executive of a state. And everybody always said to me, like, you know, why did no one ever do this before you? Because it was hard, and you were going to get sued. And as you know, the Republicans sued me, took me to the Supreme Court. They sued to get an injunction. Remember, the court ruled against me, said I didn't have the authority, which was crazy. You know, the reason was no governor's done it before. Well, no governor had ever been impeached, but you could still do that. Yeah. And then I remember like it was yesterday, and the court came out and said, nope, he can't do en masse. He has to do them individually. So I called LeVar in my office. I said, I got an answer to that. Let's get a table and chair and 100 pens. Yeah. Let's go out to the Civil Rights Memorial in front of the governor's office. Bring all 206,000 petitions. Yeah. I'm going to sign every goddamn one myself. And we ran to the court to get an injunction, and we ruled it, and now 200,000 people who could vote. Listen, it was morally the right thing to do. But he was with me every step of the way. But it wasn't just that. Everything that we did, he was my chief counsel, my chief advisor. You know, we had a great 4 years, as you all know, record number of jobs, most jobs ever created, most trade missions ever done. Biggest investment in the history of Virginia in healthcare, biggest investment in the history of Virginia in education. Built all your new roads, 66 and 95 extension. All of you go to the Pentagon. We added all those new express lanes for you. 64, we added new lanes. Everything. The state was a new state. And we righted a wrong where before me, as you know, and I want you all to know here, he and I worked together. We stopped every bad bill, and I had a record of 200 vetoes where they were going to roll back women's rights, roll back gay rights, and take Virginia back, which we stopped every single one of those. That happened. And I was very proud after ruling to be the first governor in America to perform a gay marriage. And my point was, I want Virginia open and welcome to everybody. I'm a very pro-business, very pro-job, very fiscally sound Democrat. But I want a state that respects everybody. And guess what happened, folks? I wrote that bid that won Amazon right over here, 35,000 jobs, average salary $125,000. That facility would not be there if I had not acted to stop all the rolling back of personal liberties. First page of the questionnaire we filled out, do you support a woman's right to choose? Do you support gay marriage? If we'd answered no, Amazon would not be here. Microsoft, Google, Facebook would not be in the state. CoStar would not be in Richmond today. That's leadership. And that's what I'm looking for as the next lieutenant governor. I want someone who's going to fight for jobs every single day, protect people's rights. He has the experience, he's done it, he was at our side, and we lifted everybody up. And I want to thank my wife who led the effort. 16 million more meals served to needy children in our 4 years. And LeVar helped us design that program. So we're feeding kids, we're giving people health care, we're giving them the best education we could possibly have, we're giving you high-paying jobs, record jobs, personal income went up 6.5%. What don't you like about any of that? That's what you get with a Democrat in office, folks. And that's what you're going to get with LeVar Stoney. He will be with you through thick and thin. He loves a good fight. We got to take it to Donald Trump. We got to protect our state. Ladies and gentlemen, the next Lieutenant Governor of the great Commonwealth of Virginia, LeVar Stoney.